Hello and welcome. If, like me, you don't want some twat coming along and nicking your bike, well then you should stay tuned because we're going to be taking a look at two of the top locks currently available on the market. Let's go. Now these locks do have a fair few things in common, such as the ART4 rating, which is the rating meant for locks on the road. The ART5 rating is not seen a lot because it's mainly used on locks that are pretty big and heavy and hard to take around with you. It also has the Sold Secure Diamond powered cycle rating, they both do, and apart from that obviously the shape is fairly similar. This one's a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. This one's a little bit longer and a little bit narrower, but basically the idea is the same, and of course at the end of the day they're locks. The pricing is also not too dissimilar. The Abus lock costs $299.95 and the Hiplok costs $359.95 at the time of filming this video. What is a difference though, the Abus lock comes with a 2-year warranty and the Hiplok comes with a lifetime warranty. Now I might just add that's not your lifetime, that's the lock's lifetime, and they expect that to be a 10-year lifetime warranty. So if you keep the lock well, I'm gathering that's what Hiplok thinks their lock will do in terms of, well, lifetime. Furthermore, the Abus lock comes with 2 coded keys and weighs 2.5 kilos, whereas the Hiplok comes with 3 coded keys and weighs 2.6 kilos. Both manufacturers claim that their locks are resistant against lock picking, which is good, but not a major issue because you never see people picking locks on the streets anyway. They're going to be going at it with a grinder, or maybe a sledgehammer, or maybe some bolt cutters. Well, bolt cutters are out of the question with these locks, and so is a sledgehammer, so the only thing left to do for us is to try and grind them. We have seen some videos and tests by other renowned motorcycle websites and YouTube channels, and we do know that these locks hold up very well, but we want to see it for ourselves and we want to show you as well. Now before we start destroying these pretty little locks, there's something I'd like to say that's quite important and it always surprises me quite a bit. Now young riders or people who are getting back into riding often spend their complete budget on the bike. They'll buy a lovely bike, but they won't leave any budget left for the clothing, the helmet, and of course a decent lock. And this is very odd because anybody who's ever come off their bike, myself included, knows that it's quite a painful experience, and if you don't have the right gear on, it could be a lot worse than if you do have the right gear on. And the same goes for locking up your bike with a decent lock. If you don't do that, I know you shouldn't have to, but if you don't do it, there is a chance you will lose the bike, and insurance or not, it is a pain in the ass. Another important thing to note is that these locks on their own won't stop your bike being lifted into a van. So if you want to be very secure, make sure you get a decent chain to go with it, or maybe a ground or wall anchor. Using these locks on your bike without a chain or an anchor might be a little bit difficult in some cases. But you can of course use the locks on anything you don't want to lose, such as one of those newfangled electric push bikes. For the attack, we have purposely chosen to use commonly available and fairly inexpensive metal cutting discs, as we expect that the thugs and thieves will be using those as well. Chances are that they'll be trying to nick your bike using the Black & Decker that they nicked from your neighbour. Now for good measure, we have taken a cheaper Abus disc lock to show the difference in time that it will take to get through. Both ART4 and both highly rated on Abus's own security level compass. This particular lock has a 14mm shackle made from hardened steel. So how long will it take to kill this lock? And the answer is 14 seconds, like a hot knife through butter. Alright, let's lock on the big boy Abus. This one should be a big step up. Its shackle is twice as thick and it has a hard plastic cover around it. To get through the shackle, we used up a full disc and switched it out for a new one for the last 10 seconds of grinding. The total grinding time, minus the switching, was 3.5 minutes. But that doesn't mean the bike is free. There is so little play in the separated parts that we wouldn't actually be able to remove the lock from the bike's wheel or from the chain. That means we'd need to double the time it takes to get it free, because we'd need to go back for a second cut. And last but not least, the Hiplok DX1000. Wasn't it Huey Lewis who said it's hip to be rectangular?
Ah, forget it. The DX1000 has the thickest of all shackles, but does that automatically mean it holds up best? Well, let's see. Now that's disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4, and we've finally done it. We've killed their lock. It took 4 discs and just over 3 minutes minus the time spent swapping discs, and although they say the first cut's the deepest, we'd need to go back for another one as this won't free the bike, just like with the Abus. The bottom line is that both locks hold up very well and they will take long enough to grind to attract people's attention and hopefully scare the little buggers off.
Well, that pretty much locks the whole thing up and the result speaks for itself. Never have we seen a lock that is completely indestructible. In the end, you can get through any lock, but make sure you get a decent lock to buy yourself enough time so that your bike does not go AWOL. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Do you have any questions or did you expect a different outcome? Drop the comments here below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and of course the thumbs up button so that you make me and the monkey and everybody else in this company very, very happy indeed. You'll find the locks on fortomotor.com or in one of our shops. Once again, thanks again and see you next time. Cheerio.